Howdy.
No, we did that last week.
And
And it was funny.
we don't do that anymore.
Don't you dare hit that stop button. This is funny.
Well, thank you for spoiling it. Idiots. Hello, everyone. I'm your host. God damn it.
He said, and I'm Rush. It's like Top Gear. No, wait, no, that's Throttle House.
Yeah,
And
we did
I'm
it for the
James,
first.
Yeah.
We did it for the first couple of episodes, and
Yeah.
then someone decided that wasn't fun anymore, and then we stopped doing it. And
Okay.
Well, that's because at
Yeah.
that point it was just like overly derivative. Now it's a bit.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, because no one knows who I am. I didn't introduce myself.
Are you done? Can I
Get your
proceed?
finger off the stop button.
Can I proceed with this intro?
Go ahead.
Okay.
You have my permission.
I don't. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the DoubleClutch.ca podcast. If you managed to stick through that, I'm your host, Nick, managing editor of DoubleClutch.ca magazine. And, as you may already know, I'm joined in studio by Nathan and Rush.
Howdy.
Hello.
You're supposed to say, and I'm Rush.
Oh, no, I already said that one.
Yeah, but it would have been funny if we did it again. Like, we're just dense.
Okay, do the intro again.
No.
We are dense, though. This is why I didn't get it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Nicholas, what are we talking about this week?
Well, there is breaking news in the car world. After 15 long years, Toyota has unveiled an all-new 4Runner.
That's a truck.
It looks nice.
In the world of truck news.
I couldn't even tell that there was a new one out until someone told me today, and they're like, "Hey, by the way, there's a new 4Runner."
Yeah, it's definitely an evolution in the design, but I like how they took various cues of
Evolution in the design. That's a very nice way to put it. It looks the same.
it's more chiseled, more squared off.
It definitely looks refined. It looks much better.
Yeah.
I think something that I like. Okay, so the new 4Runner basically is a Tacoma SUV.
Yes.
Like, that's what it looks like. That's what it mechanically is. It's a Tacoma SUV.
Yeah.
I like what they did with the Tacoma and, by extension, the 4Runner in the sense that a big chunk of what made the Tacoma and the 4Runner so popular was the fact that it was a brand new old vehicle that we've discussed before.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, it just has, like, that old car charm and old car feel.
Absolutely, yeah.
And they've managed to update it while preserving that.
Yeah.
I did not know how they were going to do it. I didn't think they were going to try doing it, being completely honest, and they nailed it. I think they did a really good job with it.
Yeah. So same formula, different package kind of thing.
But only very different formula, but very similar package.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, that's funny you mentioned that, on a side tangent thing, because I had
We're actually short on content, so I'm just trying to pat
the
this out.
Outback or the Forester. What did I have?
Outback.
The Outback. I don't know why I struggle so much with these two names. Well, anyway, so I had the Outback, and it was the same thing. Where it was like, oh, this is good. This is a Subaru. I like those because they have a certain recipe. And then this one didn't feel like that at all. It was just okay, in the effort, kind of in the pursuit of updating it and making it relevant in the modern time. It feels
they neutered it.
Yeah, it feels nothing like what it should feel like, which is to say it has no character, has no uniqueness. There's no fizz. It's just a car.
I've kind of chirped Subaru about this before. Where in the pursuit of being more like Toyota, ironically, and Toyota's going off and doing their own thing.
Kind of like Subaru did in the 90s.
They've lost some of the character that made them special, but they're still Subarus.
Yes.
So the biggest thing is the engine noise.
Yeah.
Right? So they've managed to cut a lot of the warbly blat out of that flat 4 Boxer configuration.
Yep.
But it still sounds like a flat 4 Boxer just without any personality now. It's just very agricultural.
Well, it's almost like getting the calories without getting, it's like eating the cake just for the fat, not for the, the sensation of eating the cake. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You want it to feel a little special. There has to be a reason why it makes that noise. And now it's just it makes that noise because it has to.
Yeah, it just mechanically is that way. I'm kind of coming around to Subarus. When I started in this, I did not like any modern Subarus. They really rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm softening on that quickly. They're coming around on me.
The big thing for me is price, and
they're cheap.
They always. don't know if cheap is the right word, but like they're
you're right.
They're well priced.
It's not. Yeah, you're right. Cheap's not the right word. They're well made, reliable cars as far as we can tell.
Yeah.
That like offer a lot of value, practicality, like efficiency, like safety features. Like they're good vehicles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think, I don't know, the other thing that drove me kind of nuts about the Outback was like it felt a little artificial in a way, like cause it had like this like fake, like I don't know if fake is the right word, but it was like this like all weather material inside the car that was like, it's not cloth, it's not leather, it's something in between. And
it's like a wetsuit kind of.
It reminded me like of a wetsuit.
Yeah,
and I was
that's
like,
what it is. I'm trying to put a finger on what that was.
And I'm like, why?
Yeah,
you know, it's like if you're gonna do it for a reason, like okay, in a Wrangler, like everything's made out of plastic, so you can rinse it out. This thing, you're not gonna be able to rinse it out. Is it just one of those things that they do so that you can feel like you're driving a more outdoorsy vehicle
But I think that's the angle, because like I'd be willing to bet you could probably scrub those seats down pretty good without wrecking them.
Yeah.
Whereas like you try pulling that in the merino leather in a BMW, you're gonna smash it up.
Ding! How far in was that?
That was 6 minutes. 6 minutes in.
Yes, but it wasn't a positive reference to a BMW.
It's fair.
So I think we're still clear.
BMW. Yes.
I get it. I don't know. It just felt a little. It felt a little gimmicky, in a way.
Gimmicky.
Like that whole wetsuit material.
Oh, the wetsuit thing. Okay.
Yeah. But overall, the car. I don't know. The Outback. I don't know how we got on this tangent. We're talking about character and soul.
You started it.
Yeah.
You did start it.
But I get that, because like you either have cloth, which kind of nobody likes. You have leather, which an increasing amount of people don't like because vegans. So then what else do? You do leatherette, and like every strain of leatherette, vinyl, whatever you want to call it, it's plastic. Like it's all plastic, just in different shades and different varieties and different formulations. So who fucking cares?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it. I don't know. I think like it's cool they did something a little different. Like had like this cool like green stitching and stuff. But like it's neat, but at the same time it's like I don't know why would you bother doing that when you can just put the cloth in the car and have it be normal. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like focusing on the wrong thing.
I mean, like cloth stains. Have you ever seen a 15-year-old used car with cloth seats? They never look good. They're never okay.
I guess we'll see how these hold up. Yeah,
but they're never okay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But like bringing it back to the 4Runner, which is what we were talking about before. Rush went off this
astray. We were concerned about us not having enough content. We padded a solid 4 minutes into that.
Yeah, with like Rush rambling.
Back to the 4Runner.
Back to the 4Runner. It does kind of pull off that off-roady, that sort of mainstream off-roader shtick better than most other SUVs out there.
It always has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this one does seem decidedly more modern. It looks a lot like the previous generations, but it is all new underneath. So it's got the same platform as the
Taco and the Tundra and the Land Cruiser.
Yep.
And that's kind of the rub, is that like, so as the Land Cruiser has shrunk and become, I'm not going to say cheaper, less expensive.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. More affordable. Yeah.
Less hideously expensive.
Yes, exactly.
And like the Land Cruiser also has like kind of old schooly, chunky, angular, squared off-roader utilitarian design, and now the 4Runner's rolling up like, we're gonna do that too, because the 4Runner's always done that thing.
Yeah.
Whereas the Land Cruiser was kind of spun off into a luxury product, and now they're spinning it back into a lifestyle-y off-roady fashion thing.
Yeah.
And so like now you have the two things,
and the two things both have the same powertrains.
They have the same. They don't have the same platform.
Yeah. Same platform, same powertrains, but different.
Yeah.
They both start with Toyota / Lexus's 2.4 liter 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
Both have the Hybrid Max powertrain optional, which is fantastic, as we've learned in the Grand Highlander.
Pause. I think that the 4Runner, like the Taco, because a 4Runner is a Taco.
Yeah.
The Land Cruiser is like on the same platform, but it's not a Taco. The 4Runner straight up is a Taco.
Yeah.
So the 4Runner has, from what I recall, the same choices of the 2.4 liter turbo with 278 horsepower, if my memory serves, and then the hybrid version of that, 326 and like 8 million foot-pounds of torque.
More like 450 plus.
Yeah, which is healthy.
Healthy, yeah.
I think the Land Cruiser is only the hybrid, from what I recall.
Oh.
It's only the top two.
Yeah. Which makes sense.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. So it's a bit of differentiation.
Yeah.
But that was my concern with like when Toyota revealed it last night. Like, oh, this is sweet, but it's also very similar in idea and in execution as the Land Cruiser.
And like, I'd be curious about price parity, like, because like the 4Runner, especially loaded up, was not an inexpensive vehicle. So like you take a 4Runner, you load it up.
Yeah.
Now you're price parable, or at least close to price parable, price parity. Is parable a word? Similar to a Land Cruiser. Like
price parable. Sorry, yeah.
I know.
Price
like
comparable.
That's not a price comparable. No,
price
parable should be. It's whatever.
It's a word now.
It's
on
a word
today's
now.
episode of Nathan Inventing Words.
Yeah.
Price parable.
Price parable. Yeah. So like, I feel like a pretty decked 4Runner should be like close to a Landy. And like at that point,
so what do you take then?
What do you take? And
Yeah.
why? Right? Like I feel like the Land Cruiser probably it's probably higher. It probably is like shaped to have like better approach departure breakover angles and like more off-roady shit. It's probably going to be way harder to actually buy.
Yeah.
Because off-road fashion icon thing.
Yes,
and also because of the name simply.
Yeah.
I don't recall Toyota making a mistake about the fact that you can now get a Land Cruiser Trail Hunter, but you can get those trimmings on the
you can get a Trail Hunter 4Runner
on the 4Runner now.
Yeah.
Which is pretty sweet because you get all the sweet hardware. You get like
all
an
kinds
ultimate
of cool
EMU lift kit. You get a bunch of the skid plates underneath.
Yeah, a bunch of ARB stuff like developed.
It's
fine with them. Like it's really cool stuff.
It's pretty legit.
Yeah. It's also $80,000.
Yeah. Looks sweet. Optional third row, which they kept, and I guess that's another point of differentiation with like the Land Cruiser.
It doesn't have a third row?
Does it?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Hang on, let me Google this.
Are there any Land Cruisers on the press fleet?
No.
Can we have?
Not yet.
Well,
I mean, you can have one eventually, but like.
But I want one now.
You can't have one right now. We're podcasting right now.
Damn it.
But yeah, that's the thing. It really does come down to price because like, Toyota hasn't announced pricing yet. They did say the new 4Runner is hitting dealers in like fall this year.
I mean, like
no third row in the Landy.
In the Land
Cruiser.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, that is another point of differentiation.
It's probably more purpose built as kind of like an off-roady overlandy kind of thing, where like more of an emphasis on cargo space rather than moving the kids with you.
So, and like the 4Runner will be more of a.
It'll have to do like that double duty of being like a $50,000 family vehicle and an $80,000 lifestyle vehicle at the same time. Yeah. Whereas a Land Cruiser isn't beholden to that to the same extent.
Yeah.
I was gonna say another thing. Pricing. I would wager it's probably like 3-ish over a Taco. Because it is like straight.
That makes sense.
I don't mean this in a bad way.
Sense.
The Tacoma's a good vehicle. The Land Cruiser, the 4Runner, straight up is a Tacoma.
Yeah.
Just with a full roof.
Yeah, about 3 to 5.
Probably 3 more. 3 to 5 more.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
At least that's what I hope.
Yeah. It's like that's historically what it has been, from what I recall. So it'd be silly of them to not keep that up, especially knowing that the Land Cruiser is a thing that exists and is arguably more fashionable within the same-ish price bracket. It looks fucking sweet.
Yeah.
And there's a Lexus GX variant of it too, which looks even more fucking sweet.
Yeah. Oh man,
God, that looks really good.
It does.
Yeah. Bottom line, it's definitely one of the hotter reveals of 2024 so far, and
well, it's about time they update it, anyways.
Yeah,
right?
15 years. That's an eternity.
It's a living fossil.
That's kind of Toyota's thing, no? Like they really do stretch out. Like,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
That's the thing. Like,
and they fucking sold too.
Exactly.
Like the old one's still sold right up to the very end.
People that want them will always want them, right?
I've kind of wondered about this. I wonder if there's a thing where like new vehicle sells well because new vehicle.
Yeah.
And then it kind of tapers off because dated new vehicle.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it ramps back up because new classic vehicle.
Yeah.
You can't get this anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like that momentum kind of started when they came out with the TRD Pros in like 2015-ish.
Because I feel like the Taco came out in 2005. That thing is like old enough to go get drunk.
Yeah.
So like I feel like it like wound down for a while.
Yeah.
At like 2012ish, and they facelifted it, but it's still the same truck.
Same thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like kind of ramped back up steadily more and more. It's like, yo, this is the last old school truck.
Yeah.
Like, get on the train now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because the used ones held their value so well, why wouldn't you get a new one?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made sense in a way.
Yeah. It's kind of weird because they're not like. I don't mean this in a bad way. I've had a few of these, I'll call them legacy platform Toyotas, and I have a couple more coming up that I'm very much looking forward to, along with the new Tacoma in a few weeks.
Next week?
Is it next week?
Mm-hmm.
Shit.
That's exciting.
And I like these vehicles a lot. Like last year, I had a Tacoma with like the garbage old school access cab with like the suicide door.
Yeah.
And like the flip out jump seats.
And the stick.
And a stick.
Yeah.
And I loved it. It was such an old school truck. And like, now granted, on one hand, like that's a fucking tall ask for 47 grand.
Yeah.
A brand new 20-year-old truck. But on the flip side of it, like no one else is doing this. No one else is doing anything even close to this.
Yeah.
And that's why it works for them.
And there is like a strong like charm to that.
Charm is a. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what
it is a charm.
Yes.
It may not be charming to you, but it is a charm.
No, I know.
Yeah.
And that's why it works for them. Like,
yeah.
It absolutely makes sense, but.
Yeah. And it's just interesting. That was my big thing. Was like, how the fuck are they going to update this thing? Because they've had it for so long now.
Yeah.
Keep it the same as
that.
old.
Like
yeah.
that. Its appeal is that it's old. So how do you take something that sells because it's old and make it new without ruining what sold it?
Yeah, it's a very difficult task, though, right? Because you have to take, you have to update the architecture of the vehicle, but at the same time, keep the feeling,
retain
which is hard. Like it's hard to like
so
explain that, right? It's like, well, this truck makes me feel this thing.
Yeah.
Okay, now make this new one do that.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, sure.
But like they're on the ball and they got it.
I know.
Like
Which
last week, I drove a Tacoma product that I'm not allowed to give any details about, and it was very good. And it's a brand new Tacoma that like the big takeaway was like, yo.
And it still captured that character.
It captured that character.
The original one did.
Yeah.
That the previous one did.
It was
Which
so
is
impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, good on Toyota.
Yeah. Like they honestly like they don't miss lately. They just like
they've been having some real home runs recently. For a while, I don't know. I felt kind of down on Toyota because it was like same shit, different day. Like it just felt like they were phoning everything in, and it's like they've really woken up. I personally feel like recently, and it's like wow, like
I agree with that. Like so much of their portfolio was so dated and like not in a charming way.
It was just resting on their laurels, right?
Yeah.
Like it was like we've done this for so long that we can't fail.
Yeah, and they have some of like the highest brand loyalty in the industry, ironically behind GM.
Yeah,
like 70% of people who buy Toyotas will buy another one, and they know this,
exactly.
right? So like they don't have to be on the bleeding edge of the curve because like people are going to come back and they'll get it on the next gen anyway.
Yes, yeah.
And I feel like to your point, like they were kind of like chilling on that for a while.
Yeah.
They not to say they were making poor quality vehicles; they were just kind of like not impressive.
Yeah.
In like almost any measure.
Yeah, it was just a good car.
Yeah,
but it was like
like you get like it's fine, but like.
But if someone was, a first time car buyer, let's say.
Or someone who's cross shopping. That's the thing. Like they count you're not cross shopping, right? But we inadvertently cross shop everything because we drive everything, and we know like the Toyota's infotainment is whack, the audio is whack.
Yeah.
It just looks and feels dated. The engine's old. Like it's just so. It's and not even old, just dated. Like just tired.
Yes.
It's part of the disconnect of being an automotive. Well, I don't like using the term automotive journalist, but it's part of the
wheeled product reviewer.
It's part of the it's part of the job of being like an automotive writer, in that you tend to like disseminate this information by driving a car and then sampling its competitors and then trying to
like you form its place in the world by having sampled every place in the world.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And then you try and base a recommendation off of that.
Yeah.
But like
most people don't do that.
No.
That's exactly it.
Shop,
if
right?
you already own a Honda, if you already own a Toyota, if you already own a Subaru.
You're probably going to go back.
Yeah.
If it didn't cause you any trouble, you're going to go back.
Yeah. And Toyota is like behind GM the best for this. They have like some of the best brand loyalty in the business.
I think the GM thing is like
coming back.
Is that Are those Canadian stats? It's probably. I see that a lot in the U.S. Whenever I'm traveling there, it's like everything is domestic.
Yeah.
And like they love their domestic cars.
I, off the top of my head, don't recall if those stats were for Canada or North America. I think it was North America.
I see that a lot there. It's like anytime I'm there, like which is like 2-3 times a week, it's like, wow, everyone here drives an American car.
Yeah.
And they like them. Versus here, I feel like we see a lot more of like a mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lot more Japanese, a lot more European makes.
Yeah.
Just cause, right? Like,
yeah. Well, also, but like you get a lot of people that are just like, oh, I don't know, I've always had this. I'm always like my mom. I've always had Fords. I want more Fords.
Yeah, that was my uncle growing up. He had every single kind of Ford. And I was like, why? What?
Yeah. Like I actually want to bring her my press car this week because she's looking for a car now, and I think it's 12 out of 10 perfect for her.
Didn't she just buy a Bronco?
She wants another one.
A new Bronco or another car?
Another vehicle altogether.
Oh, okay.
And she's looking for like a Ford and like a Maverick, but they have really competitive, like aggressive financing rates on an Explorer right now. I'm like, I don't know, man. If you can do a Maverick, you should. But if you can do, maybe check this out. I brought this up before too when I had a Honda Accord. I'm like, I think this actually would be a perfect replacement for your Taurus.
Yeah.
This is so much better.
So wait, let's back this up a little bit. What do you have this week, Nathan?
I was going to try and hold it off. So I have a 2024 Honda HR-V. The HR-V is Honda's littlest crossover, subcompact. It's with the blurry subcompact where it's not very sub at all.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
I love it. It's fantastic. It's such a fantastic vehicle. And
it's the perfect Nathan's Mommobile.
I think it'd be great. Either that or a CR-V. And like kind of what I want to bring it to her for is like, okay, if you're not nuts about this, well, if you've driven this, you've driven every Honda, because Honda's sense of like brand homogeneity is incredible.
Yep.
Everything looks, feels, drives, is built exactly the same.
Well, when Rush and I took it out just before we started recording, we're like, this interior feels a lot like the Civic. It's actually kind of nice.
It kind of is the Civic, which is the CR-V, which is the Pilot, which is the Accord.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I like the Civic a lot.
Yeah.
And coming out of, those fond thoughts about the Civic, the HR-V just feels like that with a little bit of a taller roof. And
yeah, it's just a tall Civic. And it doesn't suffer for that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It is actually, it's well executed, and it's nice. That's a weird thing. Because people ask, what are your thoughts on the HR-V? It's like, there's not much to talk about because it's a pretty simple car.
Do people ask that? What are your thoughts on the HR-V?
Today, mostly. Right. You got me. When we were asking each other, like, okay, like you drove this thing, what do you feel about it? It's nice.
It's nice. I mean,
it's a pretty basic car when you boil it down. It's just
very basic.
Just has the normally aspirated 2-liter 4-cylinder
CVT,
138
horsepower,
158 horsepower, 158 is
158.
I am positive.
Did not feel
I wrote the review.
You literally just
2 hours ago. I am sure of this.
Okay,
so
we'll
take your word for it.
100 something horsepower, 150 horsepower. Didn't feel like it.
A little slow off the line.
It's slow. I'm not going to say it's anything resembling quick. It's slow.
I don't even think it's the engine so much as the trans wastes a lot of that.
Okay, but the trans is not bad as far as CVTs go.
It's not,
it does not super motorboaty. Like it's reasonably responsive.
Yeah.
Like it's
shifted.
It's fine.
It depends what you're doing with the throttle, I guess.
Yeah,
but
we're so used to turbo cars with their fat mid ranges that like this super basic powertrain feels like a dog, and then to actually get any performance out of it, you have to wring it out, and then it feels coarse. And it's not actually coarse; it's a good motor. It's just not the turbos we're used to.
Yes.
Nick,
but that's the thing. Put yourself in the position of Nathan's mom. And by the way, thanks for listening, Nathan's mom.
Hi.
Would she really care about straight line speed?
No.
That's the thing.
Would she care about being able to pass a truck?
She is never trying to pass a truck. I know this woman. She has vertigo. She doesn't like highways. She is never trying to pass a truck.
Okay, so this is the perfect car for one lady.
Yeah, but like, how many people buy these? Sorry, Nick's had a spit take. But like, how many people buy these vehicles? And this is just by all accounts a super basic whatever commuter car.
Yeah.
Get me here A to B comfortably.
Which is nice.
Yeah. Like, more than 80% of these people will never floor it in their lives.
I'm not talking about flooring it. I'm just talking about getting around traffic.
Yeah, but it gets through traffic fine.
Okay.
If you're not trying to, like, rip ass past a semi...
Rip ass.
It's fine. Like, it will pass any vehicle.
Yeah.
Just give it a second. And if you can't wait that second,
then don't
buy
pass
a BMW.
Yo,
all right, 25 minutes in.
Okay, hang on. How much does HR-V cost?
Oh my god.
Well, 38. Okay, this is loaded. It's 38.
This is the best one you can get.
This is decked, loaded. You can't get anything else.
I mean, for $38,000 on the used market, what can you get?
Oh, shut
Let's not get into this because
I will not.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
Okay, it is an ass because like a loaded Seltos is like 35 and change.
Yeah.
The Corolla Cross
hybrid
is 37.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, that's where the trouble is.
Yeah.
For the HR-V. Is the competition is quite good. What about the Kona?
I would assume similar to
the Kona's like
the Seltos.
28-ish to start.
Well, the thing is, the HR-V is 28 to start. 20s. Like it's right in line with with everybody. Everything, the Trax, CX-30, Seltos, whatever, they're all 28 to start.
But
and so is the HR-V.
Where the Kona would kind of sells itself in the upper 35K range because
fucking ugly.
Yes. But also, for like 35, 37
but
grand,
the HR-V
whatever.
isn't good looking.
Sure it is. It's fine.
No, it's not. It's not good looking.
It's fine.
But what I'm getting at is, with a Kona, for like 35, 37 grand, at least you get some sort of an upgraded engine.
Yeah.
You get a 1.6 liter Turbo 4.
Yes, to your point, yes.
195 horsepower.
We just had this conversation about how no one cares what engine is in any of these cars because no one does any passing.
Nobody cares.
You got me.
As a side point. You know,
I do. I acknowledge that you are correct. Like, there is an engine upgrade in most of these vehicles, and the HR-V does not have one.
Correct.
Yes.
You are stuck with, even at the top SKU, and the top SKU is above the top SKU of most other subcompacts. Yep. You are stuck with this fucking pretty dog-ass engine.
Yeah. But
and that is kind of a bummer. That is like a major deficit if you're comparing these vehicles on a spreadsheet. But to live with the damn thing,
it doesn't really matter.
It's fucking fine. And it's ridiculous on gas.
Right.
It's so good on gas.
Is it so good?
Okay, so like the number you saw when you took it out at like 9 liters per 100, that was before I spent an hour and a half idling and off-roading and shooting it yesterday. I was seeing 7.2.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's almost hybrid good.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's very close to hybrid good without hybrid complexity.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of what I like it. Its focus is so hard on just fundamentals and just like thoughtful, clever design, good use of space, good ergonomics, excellent use of materials. Like the switchgear, the materials, the leathers all feel like they could be in an $80,000 car.
That's a leather padded dash.
Yeah. Like,
you know what kind of
it feels like a luxury product. It's a fucking nice vehicle.
It reminds me of Mazda, which I think is pretty high priced.
It does. Yeah.
I'd argue that the CX-30 feels vastly more premium than the.
I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I like Mazdas a lot. I don't think I need to sell this to you guys.
No, yeah, Mazda's great.
But Hondas feel a little more solid.
To me, they feel like a little bit more crisp. Like,
yeah.
And I know that sounds so weird.
Just a tiny bit tighter. Like, I feel like a Mazda, they are trying very hard to feel premium using premium feeling materials and premium looking colors and paints and stuff.
Yeah.
And they're very good and they succeed. They're wonderful cars. I love them. But with a Honda, I feel like there's a little less focus on initial wow, a little less flashy design and more just on like, yo, this is a nice piece of leather. This is a very solid piece of plastic. And we milled off the machining marks on it.
Yes.
Like super smooth. Just little shit
just
like
stuff
that.
that Honda knows how to do.
It's just a little tighter.
Yeah.
The paint's a little harder wearing. We see this. Like Mazda press cars 3,000 kilometers covered in stone chips. So they just rip the paint off.
And like
just little shit like that.
That's
like
not to rag on Mazda. It's just like
there's subtle variations between brands, and Honda I think is a marriage between quality, sensibility, and ergonomic design, and you're paying for it.
Yeah. But
when you consider like the fact that you Nathan were in the Encore GX recently, which for similar money had a vastly cheaper feeling interior and a harder wearing interior for like similar money.
Softer wearing.
Softer
wearing.
Yes.
Softer
because
wearing.
it was made of cheese.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
what kind of cheese?
Go to cheese?
Yeah.
I thought they were glass.
No. You're thinking that's the older stuff.
Yes,
where it's like very brittle.
Yeah.
Now it's cheese.
They've gone to cheese.
So it feels soft.
Yeah.
If you're just like grazing it, it's actually quite nice. But as soon as you try and dig a nail into it, I just scratched our podcast table. And it'll do the same thing to the door card of
I see.
one of these
the Encore GX.
sub $30,000 Buicks or GMs.
things.
Which you don't get that.
I do not like them.
Which you don't get that sense in the HR-V.
Exactly. It feels like and that's where I get stuck. That's what bugs me so much about those vehicles in particular. It's kind of a point of like how cheap is too cheap.
Yeah.
Right? Where like you can get an HR-V for $28,000 and it still has heated seats and adaptive cruise and like the Honda safety sensing suite or whatever.
Yeah, and add $2,200 to that and you get the all-wheel drive as well.
Bingo. Yeah.
It's like, maybe the sweet spot is like
30.
Lower in the trim.
Maybe it is.
Trim block.
I think you're onto something there because like I don't know if it'll feel any less like quality because again I
don't think it'll feel less quality.
Yeah, because we're not talking about like the flashing materials or any of like the big screens or anything. We're actually just talking about a good, solid, well put together vehicle.
Yeah,
and you're still going to get the same recipe with the lower trim levels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
just
the mine has extended leather on the center console, leather on the dash, soft touch here, slightly bigger screen.
And if it doesn't matter to your mom, she can spec it without that and save a ton of money and actually end up with a quality vehicle that'll last her 10, 12 years without even thinking about it.
Yeah, and she will have a very hard time finding a Maverick for anything close to that sticker anymore.
That won't explode.
No, the Mavericks are fine, I think.
No, probably.
Yeah.
Ford's pretty good, yeah.
I think they fixed a lot of that.
I think they did, yeah. They have worked on that quite a bit.
Yeah. I'm a big fan, and it off-roads very well.
Allegedly.
Very well. Actually, very well. So, like, I didn't know what to say about this thing, because it's a fucking subcompact crossover. Like, what do you say about these appliance commuters? Like, I really struggle to write these. They're fun when I do. When I come up with a bit and run with it, they're fun. But, like, until then, I struggle. So I was going to come at it from the angle of, like, well, the HR-V replaced the Honda Fit.
Yeah.
The Honda Fit was, I said this, like, 10 years ago, and I stand by it now, it was the best car in the world for 99% of people.
Yep.
We were chatting with this a couple of days ago.
They're fantastic.
They're really good cars.
They're unbelievably good cars. The HR-V killed the Fit. And that bothers me because the HR-V is a stupid crossover SUV. And I don't like stupid crossover SUVs because I feel like most of these stupid little crossover SUVs compromise efficiency and drivability and visibility, and in a lot of cases safety,
just
for no gain.
Yeah.
You don't get any more cargo space. There is no extra safety. You're sitting maybe 4 inches higher up.
It's the illusion.
It's just, I want an SUV. Well, now I got a little SUV. That's cute. I got an SUV, a little lifestyle vehicle. Like, I hate it. So I was coming at it from the very, like, bitterly cynical angle of, like, why does this stupid, fake SUV crossover piece of shit deserve to live where the Fit doesn't? Okay, well, it's higher.
Yeah.
And it has all-wheel drive. Let's go off-roading. And it fucking spanked me. Like, it just didn't care. Like, I had it along a hydro trail, and it's been raining a lot lately.
Yeah.
So I'm in, like, standing water. Like, deep, muddy ruts of standing water. And it just doesn't give a fuck.
Really?
Honda's all-wheel drive system has, like, they've always been really good about this. Like, even back to the 80s when they were, like, experimenting with it. They're fucking really good at it. They still are. To a point where, like, when I was in Toyota Product last week and doing activities with it, it was leaning pretty heavily on the traction control to get me out of activity.
Yeah.
And it did it well, but this Honda was able to just use its all-wheel drive system to divvy power so effectively that it wasn't lighting the traction control light. It was just...
Really?
It wasn't doing anything.
Doing
it was just like, I just had my foot down and go. I stopped. I parked it in standing water in muddy ruts to get photos. Got back in it. You know how dangerous this is.
Yeah.
And it just pulled out like it was nothing.
Okay.
Like, okay, you deserve to live. This is very good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Hondas always do that. Like, so, like, you know, a little peek behind the curtain. Like with some of the enthusiast corner pieces and stuff like that we do sometimes. Like, okay, well, it's on a week where I have a press car. I have a press car every week, so I have to carve out time where the press car is going to sit while I live with whatever this old thing is.
Yep.
To write whatever secondary piece. And I usually do it on weeks where I have something like this, a boring whatever commuter car.
Yeah. And
every time I have a Honda, I'm never really looking forward to it. Like, this HR-V or what's the truck? The Ridgeline.
Mm-hmm. Like just whatever.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like it's a whatever thing. Like I will drive it. It will probably be good. That's fine.
Yeah.
I kind of know what I'm getting into. You drive one Honda, you've driven them all.
Yeah.
And I end up never doing the other thing. I just drive the Honda because it's just such a good fucking product.
Yes.
And we spend so much time looking for that, like, the quality thing. We drive everything. So, like, when we get the thing that is the quality thing, that does everything right, that doesn't commit the sins, like, what more do you want? And it's just satisfying.
I think that's a great word for it, satisfying. Because it's like we spend so much time with all of these new cars being like, wow, the screen is bigger and it's brighter and there's more of it. And there's...
Wow, responsive.
Yes, there's this button that makes it go faster. It's actually...
Yeah, it's got a bigger, piano blacker bezel. That's glossier.
And it's like... sometimes you just get so tired of it. Like, you're just like... Cool.
Yeah. And
now what? And then it's like when you get into something like this or like Mazdas or like any other product that's like
Volvos, I find it like this too.
Yeah, like
just very sensible.
You get them and it's like you get in them and the core, the basic.
Yeah. Just the core tenets of a car, just the basic sensibilities of what went into this vehicle. Mm-hmm. What were the engineers and designers thinking?
Solid.
Yeah, just excellent.
So it's like,
and it makes it likable.
That's it.
They liked you, and you liked the car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think the HR-V gets that's a well.
So that's a thumbs up.
That's a thumbs up. Yeah.
Surprisingly.
Not surprisingly.
I knew it was going to be good. I knew I was going to like it. I didn't think I was going to like it this much. And Hondas always do that.
Yeah.
We're like, no, I actually love it. It's fucking excellent.
Yeah.
I want my mom to have one. I fucking love it. And if she doesn't like it, well, it's the same thing as a CR-V. Buy that instead.
Which is already pretty good. Regardless, we also have a 2024 Porsche Cayenne in the Porsche Cayenne S.
Yes, the S is very important.
It is important, yes.
That is a very important letter because I really like the last Cayenne we had. It was the Cayenne Coupe.
You did?
I did.
Okay.
My one big knock against the car
Yeah.
was the fact that it had the base 3-liter V6. This Cayenne S solves that problem very effectively by giving you 2 extra cylinders, baby.
It's got a V8 motor.
Oh, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah.
And it's a good V8 at that, actually.
It's a very good V8
lovely
motor.
V8.
It's kind of... I feel like the engine is really nice, but the transmission is scary.
It's so good.
Scary as in scary nice?
I thought it was a PDK. I thought it was Porsche's...
we
were having this argument
conversation
yesterday.
in the back of the Cayenne, where it was like, well, Nick was driving us around, and I was like...
You were driving us around.
No, this is... Oh, okay, sorry.
You were literally driving.
Okay, whatever.
Whatever it was.
We took turns. The point is that I thought it was the Porsche Doppelklung.
Yes, the PDK. And I was like, oh man, I don't think it is a Cayenne. I don't think it is, because the Cayenne always gets an automatic. It's a... ZF8 speed. Baby!
Oh!
They just get it. But this one's scary because you cannot feel shift at all.
No, you can't.
It's so good. Like,
shocking.
Their calibration... Maybe. Maybe.
Oh my god, he's struggling.
Possibly. Better than me.
Okay.
It fucking better be for $25,000 additional dollars, but it's fucking
we'll
really
good.
good.
We'll get there. But the engine and trans, like the drivetrain in this Cayenne, probably one of the better ones I felt in any premium SUV thing in a very long time.
It's so impressive.
That's why I like the Cayenne Coupe, because it still had the same transmission, and that ZF 8-speed box kind of masked the fact that like the 8-speed felt underpowered in this particular application.
The V6.
The V6.
In the V6 Coupe,
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Not this car.
No. So it's your standard
V8 motor.
V8 motor, turbocharged, whatever.
Hold on.
468 horsepower.
Pause. Is it still like the 4.5 or is it now the 4 liter? Is it?
That's the 4 liter.
Okay, so 4 liter twin turbo.
Yeah.
4 liter, 468 horsepower. It sounds good.
It sounds quite good.
It has like the good,
pretty muted inside, but it sounds great.
The good
outside.
low end, like V8, like the actual V8 noises.
Yeah.
It's surprisingly muted, and then also surprisingly kind of like mid-high pitch. Like, it doesn't have the baritone notes you'd expect of a V8.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I think the treble has a lot to do with that, though. Like, kind of muffles all that out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound bad. It's not offensive at all. Like, it's not in your face and shouty. It is just fast.
It's very clean. It's very refined. It's very tight.
It's very Porsche.
Yeah. It's very reminiscent of the 928 you and I both drove. It actually kind of has that though. Like it has that. It has that kind of like very like machine metallic-y kind of like mid or higher sort of thing going on.
It does.
Did you just compare a?
I did.
Did you seriously compare?
I did. So they made a
S.
water-cooled 4.5 liter V8 50 years ago, and they're like, "Yep, this is pretty good. Keep it going."
Yeah. Why don't we just take half a liter off of it and put some turbos on it and send it out the door?
Done.
And put a chain on it.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So it. Yeah. You know what? Okay. The 928.
There's a familiar resemblance there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it is a very Porsche. It's a very European V8. Like.
Yeah.
It's refined. It's smooth, and it is really fast, and it's got that amazing mid-range torque that we all love.
Yeah.
But it's hard in this car because I feel like you don't feel the torque.
It does not feel
fast.
Glides. Yeah. Part of like one like. And this might be a nod back in BMW Saver. The dark side of that, like, incredible calibration is that this vehicle does not feel fast. It is fast. Yeah. It drives incredibly well, but, like, it hides it so perfectly.
So when you mash it off...
Like, you can be, like, ripping all of the ass on Earth. And you will not notice.
That's what...
Until you look down.
That's what really surprised me about, giving it the beans off the line. You get a bit of a violent launch, but it kind of tapers off to like... It tapers off just a little bit as it builds power.
It launches hard.
It does.
Well, it launches hard.
But it tapers off a little bit.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like, so it launches hard. It feels like it tapers off, but then you look down and you realize that you're...
It never did.
No.
You are going that fast.
It has just settled down.
God, yeah.
The car has settled down and has given you a chance to settle down, but it has continued to do the hard work for you.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of magical. Like, the way that it delivers power, I don't know if I love it, because I kind of am... Like, personally, I like feeling...
I would like
something.
a tiny bit more connection.
I'd like a bit more drama, too.
But I think a Cayenne buyer, especially a Cayenne S buyer, because, like, that's the thing. The Cayenne S is, like, it is not a sports... Like, it's not, like, the full fat, the whole sausage, like the GTS.
Yeah, it's not the turbo, right? Like, you can go much higher.
That's the thing. And those cars are a little bit more bonkers, versus, like, this one is, like, a more sensible, if you wanted to, daily driver, right? So... Mm-hmm. You can tow a boat behind this thing if you want. So maybe you don't want, a crazy theatrical experience every single time you drive it. You just want it to be fast.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I honestly, I didn't even think about that. Like, yeah, this is a vehicle that will accelerate and handle and drive with the absolute best the world has to offer, with 3 kids and their shit and a boat behind it.
Yep.
Like,
absolutely. Yeah.
It does blend in.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think the tuning on the vehicle is perfectly suited to what they need it for, and I think they've done a fantastic job with that. The interior.
Yes.
So here's the thing. I've had a little bit of experience with a previous gen Cayenne. We've owned one for a little while, and the one gripe we had about it was the interior was like a little cheap feeling at times.
This on the
previous
on the
one.
Cayenne they owned. So that was what, a 19 or 20?
It was an 18.
Okay.
So it was pre this generation.
Yeah.
So when they came out with this generation, I thought that, maybe they'll fix a lot of those things. But to fix it, they've gone to a full piano black.
Yeah,
they leaned a little bit more.
It looks a little more...
Maybe a little too heavy on the tech, on the avant-garde.
They've leaned hard into, like, sterile, tech-oriented modernity.
Right. And I think
it doesn't not work, but it's very...
Nathan trying to crack a beer.
It's like covering up a fart when you're trying to talk.
Sorry,
but it doesn't not work. It works very well.
So, like, what I'm getting at is, like...
It looks like... It's one of those, like the HR-V, right? Like, to contrast it, right? So, like, the Porsche initially is like, yo, this looks fancy, it looks expensive, it looks futuristic.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Right? It's very modern, very here and now.
Yes.
Especially, like, when it's on and everything's lit up and it looks like...
It looks great.
It looks sick.
Yeah.
But it's not super usable or friendly or
right.
ergonomic.
And that's the thing. I feel like they've kind of got lost in that because like the last couple of generations, like the Panamera, the Cayenne, they all had this like huge center stack of buttons, which personally I really liked. I thought it was really cool. The switchgear all felt solid. It was really nice and tactile and clicky.
It does look a little busy at first.
It was a little
like,
busy.
Once you get used to where
settled
everything
in,
yes,
that's the thing. Once you get settled in, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Yep. I mean, I think they lost sight of that.
Right.
Yes.
And this, like, not that this doesn't make sense. It's just with making everything a huge flat piece of piano black plastic that, or glass, whatever it is, that, you know, has buttons that are integrated into it. It kind of cheapens it for me.
Yep. I like the fact that it at least offers some haptic feedback.
It's like, you know, like a BlackBerry Storm. You know when they had those back in the day where like the whole glass would move?
Those were so gangster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But they brought it back.
Yeah.
However many years on with this whole like piece of plastic that moves into the center console.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's haptic feedback done well.
No.
And like I don't know what the solution is because like you have all of these super quality materials.
And then also that, like your touch points in that thing are all gorgeous.
Oh,
the steering wheel, like your door pulls, like everything in that is so nice.
Excellent, yes.
But
why?
But then the center console is all just a sheet of plastic.
Yeah, I think that they need to work on this because other than that, like I find it hard to fault the interior of this thing.
Yeah, and like it's not egregious. Like there are still physical controls for like climate and stuff.
Yeah,
like it's not that bad.
Yep.
But yeah, and it's one of those things I noticed. Like I got in and like it, like because when I drove it, I was without you guys. I was just able to form my own opinions.
Yep.
Like a fucking peasant. And like at a glance, like it's like it looks impressive.
Yeah.
It looks so expensive and nice and fancy, and then like you're actually using it, and like and it works well. None of this doesn't work. It works quite well.
It does. Yeah.
But there's just shit like like it is piano black, and it is gonna scratch, and it is gonna show dust, and it's gonna look like shit in a week.
Well, and you're driving down the road, and all
it
of a
is
sudden
going to shine directly in your fucking eyes.
Yeah, like the glare will go right into your eyes, and it's like, why is this happening in a Porsche?
Yeah.
Like, aren't they supposed to get the tactile stuff right?
Yeah. So I wonder if like part of it is like they're just recognizing, and I wonder how much of this is just a condemnation of society.
You know, I was actually just thinking, I was like, you know what? As you were saying, it looks fancy, it looks nice, it looks showy.
Yeah, people
I'm
want
like,
the showy. They want to make that 10-second test drive impression.
Yeah.
It's a luxury product for luxury people who want a luxury good. They don't want to sit down and learn it. This is the thing, right? That the stack of buttons in the previous gen products that worked well.
That became familiar after time.
Yeah, but like you don't want to put in the time.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just like, I don't get it, I don't like it, and that's it. They're done. You lost them.
Yeah.
Like, people don't want to put in the 4 days of learning curve to get used to it. Yeah.
Ugh.
And like people also want to say, oh, it's inspired by the Taycan, which it does lean heavily into the Taycan's interior.
Yeah, well, like that's Porsche's brand identity.
Yeah.
The exact opposite of Honda's.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it does look fancy. I will give them that. Like when you get in it, you're like, damn, this thing's cool.
Yeah, there's kind of like a ooh.
Yeah. Pretty snazzy. But I think that they could definitely improve it, even by like making that like huge piece of piano black plastic like matte. That would help.
I feel like matte would go a long way.
Cut
but they can't do wood because wood is old timey.
No, not wood, but I mean like even like a matte black plastic, like.
But then it's cheap. I know what you were saying. I know that you are correct, but I'm trying to be devil's advocate here. You know what I mean?
I get you. Yeah.
Carbon fiber. But then it's race car.
And this is
two race car.
Yeah.
Stuck in a rock and a hard place.
Bring back buttons.
But like the rest of it, like I like the rest of it.
It drives
great
very
engine,
well.
Sumptuous interior, drives fantastic.
Sound system is good.
It's a good sound system. Yeah. Kind of pricey at like $146,000 as tested, like just over 100.
This is the thing. So it is almost exactly $20,000 more than like an X5 M60.
Oh.
And the X5 M60 is the top. Well, not the top, but like is like more power.
Yes.
I think a better blend of tech and usability.
So what is the X5 M60 like? A GTS?
I guess, but it's faster than a GTS.
Doesn't get a turbo or something like.
The GTS used to be. That's what they used to do. I don't know if they can do it anymore.
Yeah, well, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't really even know where this thing would slot in. Like in Porsche's like.
Yeah, but the bottom line is the M60 has
more power,
like 80 more horsepower. Yeah. I can't remember if it's 553 or 523 for the M60 cars.
I can't remember, man.
A good chunk more horsepower.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, okay, we can look at horsepower on a sheet.
Yeah, but they're fast.
Yeah, but they both feel fast.
I don't know.
They both kind of.
Sorry.
They do both defy gravity.
They are both very fast.
They are both very.
One
okay,
feels
you're
very
right.
fast.
They're both near as makes no difference. Fucking dumb quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way faster than you need it to be.
Yes.
And the Cayenne delivers its power in a much more Porsche way versus BMW's like, here we go, bam,
Okay.
bam.
All right. Okay. So question then. So we're with the HR-V. We're talking about like line items on a spreadsheet and like things it does measurably versus immeasurably better.
Yes.
What does the Cayenne S do
Immeasurably
better than the BMW?
It's a Porsche. And this is why people will buy them.
That's the thing. As much as I want to knock Porsche for having this Cayenne S cost like a whole 20 grand more than a comparable X5, which
I hate
does.
It's almost a base HR-V more than an X5.
There you
Holy
go.
shit!
Oh, wow. I kind of see where the money went into that because it does have that quality that you can't quite put that you can't quite put your finger on, but it makes a Porsche.
Where is it?
A Porsche.
Where is it? Not on the badge. Where is it?
I feel like the leather feels better.
Does it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Dude, the merino leather's really nice.
Look, what I'm saying is between the BMW and the Porsche, there is no. If you look at them like for like, whether that's numbers or the cars side by side, you'd have to probably pick the X5. But there are many people that will pick the Cayenne
absolutely
just
correct,
because
it is a Porsche. Like there is that badge has weight. You're correct.
It does,
but that's about it. And I think that you're right in the sense that if you're looking at the money, go for the X5.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
And I think that it makes sense because it is a better car on paper, and personally, I like the way it drives a lot better.
Yeah,
with a little bit more theater.
Yeah, a little more theater. The infotainment's a little more usable.
I like the BMW infotainment. Like
the X5 is just a really tight package in any powertrain.
And you know what I think the big thing with the X5 is that it is one of the only BMW vehicles that they produce that doesn't look. It's hideous.
Very good looking.
It is actually quite sharp because it has a lot of the old BMW design language. And I think that it calls to me because I love BMW so much, and this one does not. This one isn't obviously ugly.
Yeah.
I don't have to every single time I get out of it. I don't have to be like.
You don't got to justify. You don't got to justify. You don't got to sell. You got to be like, okay, but look, it's actually there's no.
Because the X5 looks tight.
It's just excellent.
Yeah. Drives great.
Yeah.
And it does all the BMW stuff that we like.
Yeah.
That being said, I think that the Porsche is
a fantastic product.
It's a fantastic product. So good. It drives very well.
Yeah. I feel like the thing that really killed me with the last one we had, the Cayenne Coupe.
Yep.
Essentially the same thing, with just a sloping
roofline.
That word. With the V6, for 130 odd grand that thing was there was a question of where's the fucking money going?
Absolutely.
In the Cayenne S, I know where it went, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Yeah. It's so much more substantial that I feel like it justifies itself much better.
I think the drivetrain alone is
if you're shopping for a Cayenne, you'll do well to just start with the S.
Yeah.
Forget.
Don't waste your time with the V6.
Yeah.
You're posting V6.
But
just forget it.
What's the difference between an S and a base?
$16,000.
Yeah, so as tested versus as tested. So it's about
16 grand.
That between the last Cayenne Coupe and this current S that we have.
I probably got the S.
It's worth it.
It's
worth
a lot
the
of money.
jump.
But in this realm, when you're talking about Cayennes,
when you're talking about luxury, high performance SUVs, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're looking at a base Cayenne V6 at 130 grand versus
the X6 that you had, which
versus
was
the X6 M60 you had at 126.
Yeah.
You got clowned.
Yeah.
Right? Versus the Cayenne S, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You spent more for your product, but I get it. I know I get what you were paying for there. That is a good car.
Yeah.
Okay, so similarly, are we done with this? We move on? We're done. Have we talked about the Cayenne enough? Or no?
I don't
know. Moving along.
The G70.
What's your final thought?
Holy shit.
Okay, the G70 we had last week.
Okay.
Yes.
This whole base versus base. The G7 doesn't drive well. Personally, I think that it's kind of boring. Sorry, it drives well. It's just boring. It's just meh, whatever.
It's fine.
But a base 330, a base 330 versus a G70, I'm why the heck would you buy a 330? And I'm wait, hang on, whoa, this is crazy talk coming from me. But why would you buy one?
No, they're kind of whack.
Yeah, they are whack.
Yeah.
Why did they even make that thing?
Yeah.
When
it should start with the B-58.
That's what I'm saying. Because, like, they got magic.
Yeah.
Why would they have...
Well, that's the thing. Like the Supra, like, we all love the Supra. That car's fucking incredible.
Yeah, but you put the 2-liter engine
I had one the 2-liter. I hated it.
Well, it lost the fizz.
Yeah, it had no fizz.
Yeah. So, okay, so what do we have last?
So the G70.
John, last week, had a Genesis G70 with the new, and I want to say tentative new, because it's new to the Genesis line. The 2.5-liter turbo motor out of the Hyundai SUVs.
Yes, and the 2.5 also served as the base engine for a few years in the G80 and the GV80.
Yes, and I think the GV70 too, if my memory serves.
Yes,
and I think it's a bridge between like the 2-liter
Yep.
in the G70, which is kind of whack, and the 3.5.
Yes.
Did the G70 come with 3.5?
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
That sounds fucking sick.
Yeah.
But like a bridge between those, because the 2-liter was lame, the 3.5 was like a lot.
Yeah.
So the 2.5 kind of steps in as like a happy middle ground.
I honestly really like the base 2.5-liter four-cylinder.
I was so looking forward to liking it. I was originally scheduled to have it. I was kind of looking forward to this thing, and I'm glad I did not have it because I did not like it.
Really?
I don't think it's good. I don't think that engine is good.
Just the engine itself.
Yeah.
Why
the engine itself.
It just doesn't make me feel anything. It's a good engine, a good engine in the way that it moves the car.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
But like, I feel like, the G70 sedan, little sedan.
The little sedan.
Is good looking.
Yes.
It has a nice interior. Like every Genesis product kills this. Like their interiors are stunning.
Absolutely.
They look very nice, they're usable, they work well, they're pretty, They're great. And on those two things alone, it's pretty and has a very nice interior. I would kind of be inclined to take it over like a base BMW 3 Series.
Yep.
Right.
I think it's a more impressive product.
I think so.
And it has an engine that goes to places. This is fine. The engine, if you're looking at it as an enthusiast-y kind of buy, is fucking really bad. So like, there's a lot of things that like we all don't like about modern, high-strung turbo engines.
Mm-hmm.
Like weird throttle response, weird hang, just delays in the engine responding to the pedal.
Responsiveness.
Responsiveness. Yeah. And then the bigger thing, like, okay, now you're on it, and then you can feel it like it's pulling timing. Like it's pulling, it's trying to hold itself back from blowing up because it's trying so hard to feel fast, and it's like, I actually can't do this.
Yeah.
So when it gets to $4,000, it starts pulling timing. And it feels weird. So every time I was in that G70, and maybe it's because someone's putting cheap gas in it, I don't know.
That could be it.
Quite possibly that. But like, man, you put your foot down, it has to think about it for a full second. It goes, and then it goes, actually, I can't, and it pulls back again. It was the most broke-ass, non-linear, whack power delivery I have ever felt in a modern car ever. I hated it. The chassis was fine.
Yeah.
Actually, completely, like, it's kind of numb, but it's fine. It actually decent balance when you throw it into that long sweeper that we do.
Yep.
It, like, kind of wants to do the rotatey thing. It's really, actually, like a half-decent chassis. Interior is lovely. It drives well enough. It's comfy. It's quiet. But, like, man, just the way it delivers power, is, if you're actually trying to get on it and treat it as a driver's car, is so disappointing and disjointed. It's upsetting. I really hope that this car was just filled up with like garbage gas.
Yeah.
Because, man, it felt bad.
Yeah. I don't know.
Otherwise, excellent car.
I don't know.
You know what? And really terrible rear seating too. Like terrible.
It's
there's no
tight
backseat room.
Yeah, there's
super
no space.
tight.
Yeah, like
that's been a weak point since
so
day
bad.
one.
Like the HR-V has so much more room. Like
It's spacious.
Yeah, I can sit behind myself with like a good, I'm not kidding, like 5 inches of room behind my chair.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. Whereas the GV70, I was like, I couldn't get my foot out when I got in it to shoot it. I had to like contort to like rip my foot out from under the seat.
Yeah.
It's so tight. It's so disappointing because I like that car. I really like that car and I want to love it because it for a while it was the only one you get with like with a stick.
Yeah.
For a very short window.
Yeah, it was like, okay, like maybe like the alternative driver's car, but like they just fell flat so hard on the power delivery, and I feel like the engine is so much of what makes a car's character. If you don't get that right, you got nothing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a couple of notes. I stand corrected. The G70 actually has the optional 3.3 liter V6.
Okay.
But it's probably worth the upgrade.
Yeah, I would think so.
How much is that upgrade? Should not have asked that.
Pushing past 60.
How much was John's car?
I don't have the spec sheet.
Okay.
I don't remember numbers off the top of my head.
Okay. But like, yeah, because like the V6s in those are quite good.
Yeah. Well, his was the top trim. His
it's no B58, but it's quite good.
Yeah. What's an M340, like 70?
I think like
last one was like 80-ish, like as tested.
Yeah, like for the spec you would want to have, like 82,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, so you're
like a V6 G70.
You're pushing like low to mid 70s in a V6 Genesis, V6 G70.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I find like, okay, the G70 did a lot of stuff right for me in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole engine, the engine kind of ruined it.
Yeah,
a lot
just the delivery. Like it just
felt very
every time.
Which cheapened the experience for me.
Yeah.
It was just
it felt like an economy car engine that was trying to punch above its weight, and it couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because like that same engine in like the Hyundai products that I've sampled it in felt
excellent,
fine, great.
Yeah, it was good regular engine, but in a premium product, it doesn't. I don't think it pairs well.
Just like and it goes to show like the importance of calibration.
Yeah,
like just like the little fine detail of things and setting a car up before it goes out the door.
Yeah,
like if they had just like dialed it back a shade so it could just feel a little more linear.
Yeah,
just put power on a little more gradually and maybe not be so aggressive in pulling, or not put on boost so hard that it has to pull timing so aggressively at the top end that it could feel like give up 10 horsepower.
Yeah,
so that it feels better. I don't know. I was super looking forward to it. We were all kind of looking forward to it. It's like, it's the little GV70 that has some power now. This is great. And it just, it's just okay. It has power for like a second. And it's super whack.
And it's a shame because the rest of the car was so good. Just like I found that interior to be like so just scrumptious. It's like it was just so
lovely,
beautiful.
It was nice. It was really nice looking.
Yeah,
but
nice. Lots of like polished aluminum accents and stuff.
Physical
controls. Like it's ergonomically well thought out. Like great space for the front.
Yeah,
like good visibility. Like and it's a very pretty car.
Yeah,
like
it really is.
It has the potential to be so good. And I wanted this engine to take it that last little bit of the way, and it went the other way.
We'll see how it is with 2 extra cylinders.
So okay, what does it compete with? So 3?
The 3, the C
series.
What is the C? Okay, so what is the C like?
We had a C43 and it was
not
bad.
So great. Yeah,
not great.
So like, I don't know. I guess the G70 it still brings a ton of value to the game, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Just not if you like driving.
Yeah.
If you like driving, might be worth stepping up to the V6 then.
Yeah.
But even then, like, but I guess like for the V6, that's the thing.
Like they're all
340
like,
versus
all those little executive sedans are all pretty sterile. They're all pretty numb. None of them handle great. None of them are awesome drivers' cars except the M340i.
Right, and that is like,
and even then, like as much as you and I love that powertrain combo, you're really only there for that powertrain combo.
Yeah,
the chassis is not amazing. Like BMW steering is kind of numb. Like they're not great.
Yeah.
But you're getting that like banger engine.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have that.
Yeah. Fair.
Whereas like the V6 is a pretty juicy motor from my recollection of it in like the
GV70.
70, I think. Yeah.
Huh. Well, that just about takes it to the end of our episode this week.
Cool. See, you guys are worried about filling it out. What are we at for time? How are we doing?
We did. We're great. We're at the end. No, I'm doing this time.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Back to the studio.
Okay. Thank you all for tuning in. It's been a slice having you two gentlemen in studio. If you wish to keep tabs on our automotive misadventures, you can do so at doubleclutch.ca on socials. Nathan, Raj, thank you for joining in studio this week.
Yeah, this was fun.
Mm-hmm. Goodbye.
Cool.
Later.
Thanks for listening, Nathan's mom.
Bye.